So yeah, so one of the things I love about photography very early on was making books, and there's nothing more fun than putting a book together. And now I've done probably like 10 or more, like 15 books or magazines, zines. So these are some of the books I made, and I'm going to start with the first one, which is called St. Mark's, 1986-2006. All these pictures were taken inside my apartment in this village. So it's a tribute to all the people that's on the roof. I'm moving quickly through here, but these are all roommates and friends and people who came and hang out in the apartment back in the 80s and 90s. This became my first book. The first version was actually handmade completely. I think I made 40 copies by hand and sold right away. And then I printed this in Bangkok. And ever since then, I've been coming back to Bangkok now for, 17 years and printing my books here. So that's number one. And then it followed by the companion of that, which is New York Darkroom, which is the same time period, 80s, 90s New York, but it's more outside in nightclubs and bars and street. Both of these are doing really well, actually. They're really fun. Then, while I was shooting that, and I first came to Bangkok, well, this is late, I came to Bangkok in maybe 89, but this is from 2003 to 2013, over a 10-year period. I did a book called Gig, which is about Bangkok's independent music and art scene and all the different people in here. I mean, for Thais, most of these people are quite known in the scene back then. And this book, funny enough, led to a lot of good things for me. One thing that happened was that the creative director at Chanel in Paris, one of the directors, found this book, and I got to work for Chanel for like 7 years. And it's all thanks to this book that I managed to place in a bookstore called Colette some years ago. Then I did a bunch of zines that are not here, but I think I moved on to this one, which I also did during COVID in Bangkok. I was here for 3 years and I had a lot of free time. So I put this book together, which has a combination of all my work, I would say. It has New York Darkroom, it has St. Mark's, it goes on to, I'm moving forward here, the pictures from exhibitions I had in Bangkok. There are portraits of various people. Oh, no. Actually, this is from that book, Gig, by the way, the Thai book. And so that's that one. This is kind of like the best of, I guess you could call it. And then the last little funny thing was this one last year. It's a bar near Central La Prau called Method to My Madness. And I ended up spending a lot of time in this bar and taking portraits of everybody, all the regulars there. And then I would go, the following day I would make these big prints and put them upstairs in the gallery. Let's see if there's a picture here you can see. So these are the prints that came up. And in the end we had 50 portraits, and that was super fun and very immediate. It felt like I was doing something like action shooting in a way. And then they get to do their own artwork on their own pictures, like here.
When you printed, then they wrote it, then did you scan it back again into the book, or you took a photo?
No, it was a crazy process because I would take the picture and then I think it was 6 months later I'd made the book. So after I had the exhibition and everything, I came back to Bangkok and I made sort of copy prints of the pictures, and then I had to hunt them down all over Bangkok. Like I would go to a club, almost like a wanted thing, and show people, have you seen this person? And they go, oh yeah, but they're now in Chinatown, or they're on Tonglor, or they're some other in this bar or this club. And I would go there at 2 a.m. and they would draw on it, and I would scan those, and that's why I ended up here. So it was kind of like it was a super fun project. Some of those people were all obviously in the same bar, in Method to My Madness, and I would find them 6 months later, and they would add their artwork. So that was super cool. And then lastly, which is not here, is the zine I'm printing this week. So that's going to be done. It's going to print on Monday, and I should have it hopefully by Thursday, and then next Saturday, February 7th, I'm going to have it here in the gallery and have a little launch party for that zine. And and then you get to check it out. So brand new. Yay.